Let me tell y'all, the Homebuyer seminar would never happen again the way that it did this time. It was a complete disaster, complete chaos. So let's get into it. Let me tell you guys what happened. Over the phone, dropping scared. I get my phone when I get good. When you drunk, you tell me exactly how you. So this Homebuyer seminar came about maybe a month and a half to 2 months ago. I was on the phone with another realtor and just picking her brain about being a dual career agent and different things that I can do to get more people and leads into my database. And she was like, host a home buyer seminar. And I'm like, you know what? You're right, because home buyer seminars for the most part are relatively easy. You know, you're educating buyers on the process, giving them information so that they can kickstart their home buyer journey. And you send out an invite, you pick the date, the place, the time, send out the invite, have people register, ta-da, right? But me being me, want to make everything just a touch of Camille, you know, a little bit more interesting. I'm like, let me add my touch on this, my cute little spin. So if you guys have been keeping up with the vlog, then you've already seen the flyer. So it was going to be a home buyers seminar, but vision board fall edition. So just think you're making vision boards of what you want in your future home, you know, looking through the magazines. We have cute fall drinks, whether it be hot apple cider, hot chocolate, you know, me ordering some pumpkin spice lattes, the cream danishes, like the apple, you know, like think fall, right? Everything in my head was going to go off with that hitch. I was going to promote the heck out of it. Well, let me tell y'all what happened. So, been planning everything like a month in advance. I had the venue secured. I had chose Saturday. I mean, not Saturday. I chose Sunday, October 12th at 1 p.m., right? And it was going to be at this cute little coffee shop here in my city called the People's Market. Well, they actually have a conference room of about 8 people. It has a TV monitor where you can project things from your laptop and display it on the TV. There's a whiteboard in there with markers, very modern. There's glass where you can see out into like the atmosphere, and then it's not quiet. It's like very energetic, very lively music. They have food, wine, beer, muffins, danishes, sandwiches, wraps, that kind of vibe, right? Everything is going well with the planning. The first thing I do is, once I secure the venue, is I start to create the flyer and put it on Eventbrite. Took time to do that. I was not really liking how it was coming out, like the flyer on Eventbrite. I'm like, nobody is going to want to come to this. And I'll insert a picture of what I created on Canva here so y'all can see it, like the first try, the first attempt. So I sat on that design for probably like a week or two. I'm not even gonna lie to you, because I just didn't want to put it out there. I didn't feel like it was my best work, and I'm just like, nobody's gonna register for this corny mess. And also, the very first idea that I had, I don't think I created to be like a vision board edition. It was just gonna be fall theme home buyer seminar, I think. I'll attach receipts. So I kept procrastinating in terms of promoting. So when I finally changed the design, I went live on Eventbrite. I think by now we were probably like 2 weeks out from the event actually happening. And I'm like, oh shoot, I need to start promoting the home buyer seminar so I can get butts in the seats. And then, me being me, I was very like anxious about just wanting things to go right. And sometimes when you want things to go right, like taking no action is taking action, because like you're delaying yourself, right? So I'm like, this is not really working out. I need to get butts in the seat. So let me start promoting on Eventbrite. I had it paid because I wanted, at first I was like, oh, let me like do a paid version so I know that people are really committed. Because if you pay for something, you're more likely to attend than like if it's free, you know? So I was like, okay, let me have it paid. And then I changed it back to free. So I was just all over the place, y'all. Being indecisive is making a decision ultimately. Like you being indecisive is making a decision. So kept toiling around. Finally put it up on Eventbrite. And now I was like, okay, now there was only 8 tickets. And I kept worrying that like, well, what if, you know, like what if I get 10 or what if I get 12 or what if I get 15 and I gotta move venues? And I was like, okay, that's not the end of the world. Like that's a good problem to have, right? So I started promoting. I had like a plan where I would post like on my social media platforms, my personal page, my Instagram, personal Facebook, my Instagram, and by email. Sent out my regular October monthly newsletter email, and I don't think I got any registrants for that. I also posted on Threads, so I will tell you I probably promoted like every day for 2 weeks. I would do like talking videos, like promoting the seminar, right? So, meanwhile, I'm not really doing anything else for it. I'm just trying to promote, market to get butts in the seats. So, it was coming along very, very slow. I think I had made a post like on Facebook, and I probably had got like one registrant. And then I remember I did it on Threads. I think I got another registrant. I even posted it like in my church group. And I think I got like one post from Eventbrite itself, like probably people just searching for home buyers. Okay, so this is where stuff starts to get, y'all. I had, because, y'all, never again, never ever again. So mind you, the Homebuyer seminar was supposed to be on Sunday, October 12th at 1 p.m., right? Let's take it back to Friday. Ticket sales have ended. The final attendees are, you know, registered. They're all signed up. Granted, I didn't have like an automation set up in place for the people that did register to send them like reminders and whatnot. So on Friday, the total people registered was four tickets out of the 8. So I'm like, okay, that's a good size, nice and intimate. I like it. I can dig it. Granted, you know, most of the time, if 4 people register, usually they're all not going to show up. So you may have one person to show up, maybe 2 people, or none at all. So now that the final, you know, attendees are registered, I'm like, okay, now it's time to jump into action. It's time to get the supplies because I didn't want to like buy too much supplies and then like nobody registered. So I felt like in my head, that's why I waited to the last minute to see if anybody would even register. Let me tell you everything that went wrong. So this is where everything hit the fan, okay? So, and I'm telling y'all this because like the seminar was a flop, but it wasn't a waste of time because it was a learning experience. You can learn something from everything. So, I'm telling y'all everything that I did and then everything that I would do differently so that if you are looking to do something similar, there are many agents who have I'm talking about successful home buyer seminars. Me, on the other hand, unfortunately, I was not successful. And in this video, I am going to be sharing with you guys like why and whatnot. So where mine is Friday, I get off of work. I'm like, I need to get supplies. So I was like low key panicking because, like I said, it was a vision board themed party where I stated in my marketing that everything would be provided. All they had to bring was themselves. This is the first, that's not even the first place that I messed up, but we'll get to that. But that was one of the places that I messed up. And I'm going to hurry up and try to speed this video up because my camera is on 6%. So I called myself on, was it Friday? No, it was Saturday. It was the next day. Trying to look for magazines, y'all. This was the biggest mess up ever. I'm over here calling old used bookstores to see if they got magazines. So I go by the thrift store. I'm like, I know they got some magazines. I know people don't want the magazines, and they just drop all them magazines, old magazines, off at the thrift store. Went to like two thrift stores, did not see no magazines. Call Books a Million, Barnes and Nobles. They're like, oh, we sell magazines full price. And then the ones that I guess like when a subscription get old, they just send it back and they like get a credit. They get more magazines. So I'm like, oh my God. Like, and at this point, I had my best friend with me. She was like coming with me to do all the home buyer vision board shopping. We in Target, like we go to so many places. I'm calling it used bookstores around my city. At this point, I'm desperate, so I'm like posting in the Facebook groups that I'm a part of and on my personal page. And where else did I post? And my church group chat. Like if somebody got magazines, like bring them to church tomorrow, because like now I'm freaking out. Like I got 4 people registered and I don't have magazines. So I'm literally like freaking out, right? So my best friend, she's with me. And I'm gonna tell y'all what went wrong and stuff that I would do differently, like I'm in like in weave it or whatever in this video. So I'm with my best friend and she's like, girl, why would you do magazines? Like who reads magazines anymore? I'm like, I don't know. Like I didn't know it would be this hard. Like I really did not. And so I'm stressing. I'm starting to give up and lose hope because I'm like, okay, I can print out a lot of pictures, but just because I print out a lot of pictures don't mean that these people are going to want those pictures for their vision. Like you want more things to choose from. And so I'm like literally panicking. I'm like, okay, well, out of the 4 people, maybe only 1 or 2 gonna show up, right? So I don't even need that many magazines. I'm posting it in like the Next Door app, like everything, y'all. Nobody was coming through with magazines. Nobody. Finally, I'm on the phone with my husband, and he's like, why don't you check Facebook Marketplace? I'm like, that's brilliant. Like, why didn't I speak with you about this earlier? He's like, you should consult with me when you having these type of events. So I'll go on Facebook Marketplace, y'all. There was people with magazines, and I was like, yes. So I'm getting excited. I'm like, messaging them on Facebook, like hoping and praying they respond, because by this time it's like 5 o'clock on Saturday. The vision board event is on Sunday at 1 o'clock. Granted, I gotta wake up at 6 o'clock to go to church, and I serve, and I had to attend a service. And so right after church at 12, I was gonna leave to travel to the vision board event. So there was no time to do anything. Like Saturday was the only day that I had to get things done. So like at this point, y'all, I am like, can I'll go to your house, I would pick it up, like, where do you live? I really need these magazines. And one of the lady responded, she was like an hour away. And I'm like, I don't know, I really want this other guy to respond, because I seen all his magazines. It was like a lot of home magazines. It was like a Pottery Barn, home decor, like it was like a lot of stuff that we would need. So I was like, oh, I hope you respond. He like 4.8 rating on Facebook. So I was like really, really praying that he would respond. He wasn't responding. So I'm like, oh my God, like this is a disaster. So this is where I went wrong and what I would have did differently. So yes, I still would have done a vision board party, but my best friend was like, you should have done like a virtual type of like vision board where you create your item, like your vision board on Canva, and you have everybody to bring their own laptops, and then they share and they can project on the screen their vision board that they created on Canva, which is brilliant because all the pictures you need are on Google. So I'm like, oh, so I definitely would do that differently. And I'm on 2% now. I need to charge my camera. I wonder if I got a battery pack. Hold on. Okay. I had a battery pack. So, yay, my camera is charging as I'm talking. So, I forgot where I left off. Um, yeah, so she was like, you should create like an electronic type of vision board party. I'm like, that's brilliant. That would reduce me trying to look for magazines at the last minute. Not to mention I had to get all the supplies, which the supplies wasn't like a huge thing. We just ended up going to Dollar Tree. I got like 4 scissors, I got poster boards and markers. And then I didn't get the glue sticks from Dollar Tree because they didn't have glue sticks. They just had like the squeeze out wet glue. So I was like, oh, I'll just get them like after I drop her off from Target or Walmart or whatever. Okay, so this is all Saturday, y'all, the day before the actual vision board party. So by this time is creeping up. It's like 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. And I'm like, I finally get home. Soon as I get home, the guy that I had been waiting to respond about the magazines, he responded that like he's available and I can come tonight. So I'm like, okay, cool. What is your address? So I typed the address in my phone and he's like basically 38 minutes from where I live. I'm like, I'm on the way. Like, I need these magazines. Like, what's a vision board party without magazines? So I jump in my car. At this point, my husband is with me because I had stopped home and the boys was with me all day. And so we just took a family trip to go get the magazines. Got over there. Basically what happened was they had like 1,500 magazines. He basically said that his aunt had passed away and they were selling everything in that house, including the magazines, and she was basically a hoarder. And earlier that day they had a garage sale and made literally $1,500 from all the stuff. Like, some stuff had just brand new tags, some stuff was brand new, and she just liked to collect stuff. So in her collections was a ton of magazines. So he was selling the magazines for $1 each. And he was like, at first I was just gonna throw them away because I'm like, who would even want these magazines? And I'm like, so I'm so glad that they did not do that. God did his big one. And I walked away with like 20 magazines. So I'm like, perfect. So by this point, I got my poster board, I got my markers, I got my scissors, and I got my magazines. And I'm like, great, we can go home now. Like, everything is good, right? Go home, do a little dilly dally, wake up the next morning, as I mentioned, for church because I serve at church. And so it's like 6 o'clock, we're getting ready. We're basically at church by 7, go to the 8:30 service, serve at 10:15. And then, oh, I'm missing a step. And then I was going to be on my way at 12. So rewind that night, late Saturday night, when we get back with the magazines and whatnot, I'm like, I need to send these attendees an email reminder because I never set up the like automations for when somebody registers to like continuously remind them of the event and that they actually registered. So late last night, because I knew that Sunday morning would be chaotic with me serving and going to church and just doing all the things, late that night, I was like, let me just do like some reminder emails and a schedule send, like schedule the email to be sent out at the times that I want it to, even when I'm at church. So I did a schedule send email reminder for Sunday at 8 a.m., for Sunday at 11 a.m., and for Sunday at 12 p.m. And it was basically like, reminder. And then the next one that went out at 11 was like, we're 2 hours away. And then the next one that went out at 12 p.m. was like, we're 1 hour away. So I'm like, okay, great. And with my CRM system, I can see when people look at my emails. So here's another place to where I messed up, and we're gonna conclude all the mess ups at the end, and I'll tell y'all like in a nutshell what I would do differently. But on the Eventbrite attendee registration page, I did not capture a telephone number, so all I had was first name, last name, email. So that was another big mess up that I had, because had I capture their phone number, I could have called them or text them when their registration closed to confirm their attendance, but I didn't even have a phone number to reach out to these people. So I'm like, okay, so fast forward, Sunday, I'm at church, I'm on my way, y'all. I am on my way to the venue, and the venue is basically like near our downtown area, and traffic was crazy. Why did I not look at what was going on in my city on Sunday? It's football Sunday. Y'all, the Carolina Panthers was playing the Dallas Cowboys. So traffic was crazy. Like, my estimated time of arrival was like 20 minutes before the event was even going to start. And then I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, is that why people wasn't registering? Like, what was I thinking? It's football Sunday. Like, so that was the next place I mess up. So I get to the venue, everything good. I check in for my reservation. The conference room is ready. I go in there. I start laying out all my supplies, the magazines, the poster boards, the markers, the scissors. Boom. forgot to get the glue. Oh, I forgot to get glue. How am I gonna get? Yeah, how am I gonna make vision boards without glue? I forgot that was the last stop I needed. Oh my god. Like, what is happening? I cannot make this stuff up. So I had all these supplies. I literally went to go through hoops to get these magazines and I don't have glue. So then I'm like, I'm on the phone with my husband. He's like, do I need to bring you some glue? I'm like, you know what? At this point, I don't even know if anybody's going to show up. And if they do, I honestly will be kind of happy about it because the unpreparedness is crazy. Like, I don't know why I thought that getting all of these things would be so easy and just like seamless, but it wasn't. It was like block after stumble after challenge after block after stumble after challenge. And so he's at Staples trying to get me some glue. And even before that, I was like, oh, maybe I can Instacart, some. Oh Lord. I was like, maybe I can Instacart some glue sticks to the venue. Gosh. Y'all, I cannot make this stuff up. So I'm like, this is just too much going on. Like, it's just too much. So, anyways, like everything progresses, and the time is like 2 minutes before we actually start. And I was going to order like some fall things or drinks from the People's Market where I was having the event, but then I was like, I don't even know if anybody gonna show up because I told y'all I can tell when people read my emails. And when I had sent those 3 emails out, it was only one person that had even read or opened the email. The other, like, 2 people didn't read it at all. Granted, I have 4 tickets, but one person had bought 2 tickets. So I'm like, okay, that's a 1 out of 4 chance that somebody is going to come. And that one, there's like a 50-50 chance so like I'm like, I done went through all this for like nobody. So basically 1 o'clock gets here. Vision board party bus stop. It's just me. It was me, myself, and I the whole time. And I had the space reserved from 1 to 2:30. My husband had ended up dropping off the glue sticks anyways, and I will insert that footage. So I forgot the glue sticks. So my husband had went to Staples to get glue sticks so I can have it, and he's here. Thank you.
All right, we'll see you later.
See you later. Oh, bikes and sleep. The time is 1:53 and the event is supposed to end. I got the glue sticks. The event is supposed to end in like basically 30 minutes at 2:30. And also just some more footage of me dilly-dallying. And he was like, well, you might as well create your own vision board of what you want, like for our house, because we want to get another house too. He was like, you might as well create like another vision board for what you want for the future or whatever. So I was like, okay. Make sure you do Elizabeth's location. Yeah. So 30 minutes has passed by. Nobody is here. I'm just here by myself. And Devon was like, you should do a vision board. Just because nobody is there, like you should make the most of the time and do a vision board of like what we want our next house to look like. So that's what I'm doing. Y'all, but in a nutshell, when I tell you chaos and I would never do this again, it was very unorganized. The magazines was the biggest issue. I did not realize that like people don't, I should have known because like who is looking at a magazine these days? Like everything is digital, everything is online. But anyways, I say all this to say, and that I'm gonna wrap up this video because there are some main things that I would do differently. And if you're looking to do a home buyer vision board party, y'all, This is what mentors are for. This is what just being in right spaces is for. It's so you don't repeat the same mistakes. But the first thing I would do is I would not do magazines. I would not do no poster board, like none of that. It will be all virtual. You bring your computer or we're on Zoom and you're creating your vision board and you share your screen. Something like that. That'd be the first thing because that was the biggest thing that I feel like I messed up. The second thing that went wrong is I did not capture enough contact information. I would definitely, if you're going to have people registering, capture their first name, their last name, their phone number, their email, and probably also a few more questions because I feel like the more questions that somebody has to go through, there's a level of commitment there versus just typing in your first name and email address. Like if you go through an actual process to answer all these questions, that means you really want to come. You're probably really, really going to be there. The next thing I would do is because you have the phone number, like call them. Hey, I'm so excited that you registered for the Homebuyer Vision Board Party. We're really looking forward to meeting you. You know, ask them what are you hoping to gain from this event that we're having upcoming and just develop like some rapport there and do follow-up calls. So I would do that. Also, I would have a materials list if I did decide to go the vision board route. Like I would ask people way in advance for magazines, be collecting this way in advance and have my materials way in advance regardless of who is going to show up. And then the other thing I would do is I waited way too long to even send them reminder emails. Like I sent it on the day of, scheduled 3 on the day of. I would have had one when they first registered, maybe a day after, you know, just kind of sprinkle it out as time went on. And then the other thing I would have looked at is the day. Hello, having it on football Sunday is absolutely insane, especially if it's a home game in your city. Like that was just crazy. I should have looked at what was going on in my city. Like I know better. And then the other thing, the very last thing that I would do is I did market like on my personal Facebook page, Instagram, like my church group, things like that. But I really should have went like all in with marketing, as in calling my database because I did intend to do that, like go through my database and like call people to personally invite them, send out personal text messages. I sent out like 5 text messages and then that was it. But those are the things that I would do differently. And that is why I just would not do it in the way that I did it again. I just wouldn't. It was too much stress for nothing. For nothing. But it was a learning experience. At least I get to share it with y'all and at least I have the opportunity to make it better in the future. So I'm grateful for that, but I just feel like everything that could have went wrong did, except with the venue itself. That was like a great setup. But I just had to come on camera and tell y'all that story because why? Don't be like me. Anyways, if you like this little story time of me prepping for the home buyer seminar and all the chaos we went through and the behind the scenes of being a real estate agent, don't forget to look down below, click the like button, bell button so you can be notified when I post a new video. Subscribe, do all of that. I do a lot of day in the life, a lot of advice and tips for being a new real estate agent, and a little bit of lifestyle. I love you guys. Again, thanks so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.
Sometimes it's soft as a misty rain that gently touches my soul.